You are about to be introduced to someone who, after I saw their interrogation, the thought inside my mind was that this guy makes this guy look like this guy. And if you don't know who this guy is, his name's Jethro. And if you can't remember still, remember, this is his family. Yes, this DC really is that dumb. Now, what's the backstory? This is Kimberly Allen. She's a really lovely lady, but unfortunately, she's get taken advantage of because she had a really big heart. This is Eric. He's our DC. He's also a bum. Kim was allowing Eric to crash on her couch because Eric, the bum DC, didn't have any place to stay. Now, one night while Eric was staying at Kim's place, he just decided to murder her, as DCs do. Then Eric stayed in her house for a few days and then decided to take off. But before he took off, he made a phone call from this cell phone. But this cell phone wasn't DC's cell phone. Oh, no. Remember, he's a DC. No, he made a phone call to someone he knows using Kim's cell phone. And the cops backtraced that call, and that's how they got him. Now, the thing is, the cops don't suspect this DC of doing anything. They actually think it's somebody else. And lucky for that somebody else, that this guy's a DC. So the cops bring him into the station to ask him a few questions. And now we get to see this DC put his genius plan into action.
I haven't known her that long. She was pretty cool, nice person. She opened up to me and I opened up to her. She had been real nervous. She just kept mentioning Larry. She had told me some prior incidents where she was at a bar where he drug her out by the back of her hair. He was screaming that I'll kill us both. Thing to her recently, or she's had a run into him.
This interrogator is a senior, seasoned detective. This detective is a detective we call at the channel the poker player, for many different reasons, and you'll see some of them coming up. The first one is that he keeps his cards close to his chest. And what does that mean? That means that he knows something that Erica doesn't know. And that something is that they know that Eric is the last person to be identified with the victim before she was found murdered. And they know this information because the victim's credit card was used to purchase beer by a person at a gas station. And that person just happened to be DC. It's obviously one of life's essentials to the DC before they go and commit a murder. So they've got receipts from the gas station, but that's not what clings this DC. Oh, no. What clings them is the CCTV cameras that are in that petrol station, put them in that gas station on Sunday afternoon. And now the poker player, all they got to do is sit back and wait to see if Eric says anything to contradict that fact. So if he says that he didn't see her from a certain time frame, and that certain time frame is any time before Sunday, before that gas station, then the cop knows he's lying. And our DC just got asked the origin question. Now let's go see our DC.
Let me clarify again real quick just what I want, okay? From Friday night, from the time you met up with Kim, okay? Through today when you talked to us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Friday night, definitely drinking. I know we went back to her place.
Okay.
And I went to sleep on the couch because that's normally where I slept at. Saturday, we've been to Nashville. We bar hopped a little bit. She did say that she was going to meet up with a friend of hers that she knew for a while. I know it was a guy, but I don't know his name, never got it. I left from her and was just roaming around all night. So I figured she did meet up with like whoever she was talking about. And I haven't seen her since after that, all of that. She probably did meet up with that person.
Good.
And they either stayed downtown or they went back to their place.
Okay, so Saturday night you didn't come back to her place at all?
No.
You stayed in Nashville?
No, sir.
So you haven't seen her since Saturday? So how were you in her car in Smyrna at 11:09 a.m. on Sunday?
Busted! Now let's see how believable this DC's lying.
On Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall being in her car on Sunday.
You recall going to the store and using her credit card?
Yes, that's when I told you when she, yes,
on
I'm
Sunday?
sorry. Yes, sorry. That's when, I came back down here for a little bit and then yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that and I'm sorry. I'm not lying to you.
Told you he was a DC, and it just gets worse, man.
I'm a little freaked out because one, I didn't do nothing wrong.
But right now, you're telling me a lot of
I know.
circle
I'm
jerks,
trying to
okay?
remember everything.
Now, if something happened and you were at the house and a mistake happened, then that's what we need to know. We can deal with mistakes. But somebody that's going to lie to us about them, that tells us that somebody's trying to hide something.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I want to say it was Miller or Miller. They were just screaming and yelling at each other. Like Sunday, Monday morning, like early morning. He just told me, get the out of there. I called the taxi and I left. I knew probably something bad had happened, but I didn't know what.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this one time. Okay. And I want you to be perfectly honest with me. When you saw her Monday, before you left there, was she alive? Don't lie to me either.
I know she was drugged up. He was crushing some type of pills. I seen a residue on a counter. I watched him put the powder in a cup.
Okay.
And then I watched him put Diet Dr. Pepper on top of it. I got scared. I called the taxi.
How'd you call the taxi?
Now again, just like in our DC Crybaby video, DCs aren't smart enough to articulate an answer which cannot be completely and utterly destroyed by a simple common sense.
She had given me her cell phone to hold on to.
Okay. So what'd you do with her phone?
After I got rid of it because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yep, he's another DC that puts the J in genius.
I gotta be honest with you, it's still bugging me that you take her phone and just decide to throw it away. Because if you don't know that she's dead, you're not gonna take your friend's phone and throw it in the trash because she's gonna want her phone back.
I threw it away in the trash can.
Where?
Downtown. At that time, honestly, speaking truthfully to you, I didn't know she was dead then.
Honestly, truthfully, you're a DC.
Sometimes some things happen, okay? Some things are accidents, okay? If you were there, y'all were having sex, you were getting drunk, you were getting stoned, she died, then that's what we need to know, okay?
I just knew that he told me I need to leave, and I left. Honestly, that's what I did.
Okay.
And I left.
Give us a couple of minutes and I'll go back and talk to you again, okay?
So the cops go away and check out if this guy that he says was there actually exists.
Okay. I'm gonna try this one more time, okay? And I'm gonna give you a chance to be honest with me, okay? This third person bullshit is bullshit. That's all it is, bullshit. There is no Carl Miller in Smyrna or Rutherford County. You're gonna have to start being honest with me
I'm being
because
honest right now.
no, you're not. You keep blowing smoke up my butt.
But I'm being honest with you. I'm freaking out because I did not kill this woman. I didn't poison this woman. I didn't do shit.
You and her, the only two in the house at that time.
At that time, yes.
Okay.
And now you're about to see another reason why we call this guy the poker player. You see, the cops still don't have anything on this DC, so this detective's gonna run a bluff. A really big bluff. You see the poker player keeping his cards close to his chest. They actually have video of Kim in her car withdrawing money. Now, you can only see Kim, but they highly suspect that DC's in that car and he's forcing Kim to withdraw that money. So we get to see this really smart detective do his bluff.
I'll be honest with you. She went to the ATM and got the cash out. I think it was like $420 or something like that.
You were there Sunday night, correct? At her house. Okay. Whose picture are we gonna see at the ATM at night? That night.
On which night?
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. You were with her when she went to the bank, right?
Yes, sir.
When she got the money out. Okay. What were you holding to her neck?
I would hold.
Come on.
I didn't have no knife or nothing.
Oh, this is gold too. You see, the poker player here is going to run a secondary bluff. You see, he's told one of his mates to come into the room and then say, it's a match, hoping that DC swallows it and believes that they must have found the knife and it has his DNA on it. It's gold.
Come on, be honest with me now.
Yeah, thank you.
No?
Hey, it's a match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the poker player.
Okay, you want to try this again?
All I can say about his answer is the name of my channel.
She asked me. I didn't cut her. She asked me to hold it, and I did.
She asked you to hold what?
She gave me a knife.
Okay.
I didn't cut
She
it.
tell you to hold it up to her neck?
I didn't hold it to her neck. I just kind of held it like this. She said, "I'm gonna loan you $40," and she took out $420. and I didn't need 400.
So you took $420 from her.
And now DC has just given the motive. Name of this channel.
Let me tell you something, okay? Right now, you're blowing buku smoke up my ass, okay? If you want to keep this story up, we can play all night long. But we all know what happened, don't we?
Honestly, truth, I was so up drunk, I don't remember. There was a struggle when we got back. Not like a fight.
Between you and her?
She was stumbling, and I went to catch her when I did, and it stuck in, and I freaked the out.
What'd you do with the knife?
I threw it away
Where?
downtown
Where?
in the parking garage. After she fell on it, I got a towel to hold it right there. And I said, Kim, I'm so sorry. I said, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. And I don't remember a whole lot because I had blacked out. Not like blacked out, because I did. And I know I'm going to jail. Am I right?
And I know I'm going to jail. It's the only smart thing that this DC has said in this whole entire interview. So anyways, a couple of hours later, old DC finally decides to tell the truth.
Oh man, I'm not a drunk ass one. This and that. For some damn reason, I went in the kitchen. But I never like, I don't know why. Can I just touch your neck and show you? Sure. And I stuck her in the neck. And I realized what I was doing. Somehow in hell, I dropped it. Then she asked me to give her some of the medicine to help her. So I gave her way too much.
Did you crush it up and put it in a drink?
Yeah, I thought that it would help ease the pain. And then she passed away.
All right, just a couple questions. What'd you do with the duct tape? What'd you use the duct tape for?
It fell in her hands.
Is she dead when you put the duct tape on?
But I did that after she had passed away.
Oh, she had duct tape on her hands. What else did you put duct tape on? Mouth. You put it across her mouth.
Yes. And I think I did on her eyes.
Did you put it across her nose?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to ask you the hardest question I've ever going to ask a person, okay?
Yes.
And this is a you to me, okay? And I just want you to give me a plain, straight up, honest answer.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Did you choke her?
I didn't choke her. What happened was after she was already gone, and I wanted to make it look like a break it. I put the tape around the neck, around the bag on it.
You put a bag over her head,
Yes.
and then you put duct tape around the neck.
And she was only gone.
Okay. How did you know she passed away?
She was making some type of noise. It sounded like a snore almost.
Mm-hmm.
I just snapped.
Okay.
And I didn't realize what I was doing until afterwards.
Okay. Let me clear up just a little bit, okay? I think you're ashamed of what happened at the bank,
Very much.
but what happened at the bank kind of led to the rest of the evening.
Yes, sir.
Am I pretty close with that?
Yes. No, you're not close. You're right, sir.
You crushed the pills, put them in a cup. She drank some more. She started to get sleepy. You carry her to the bed. You went back into the living room. And then she was making those noises. You went back into the bedroom,
Yes.
put a plastic bag over her head, and then duct taped the plastic bag.
Yep, this DC really is a pathetic piece of shit.
Today, the man accused in her death faced a judge.
An acquaintance of Allen, Eric Ellis, allegedly murdered the 45-year-old at her home on Branch Trail in Smyrna back in March. Police tell News 2 he apparently confessed to the crime. Days before she was killed, she testified in a preliminary hearing in another case where she was the victim. Her estranged husband, Lawrence Eugene Allen, was arrested and charged in that case.
Yeah, she had a really tough life, young Kim. It's just not fair, because she really was a lovely person. So I'm glad that they gave this DC life, because that's exactly what he deserves. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Dumb Criminal. If you haven't already, please subscribe and check out the playlist on the screen about now. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, especially my DC subbies, and we'll see you really soon.